What if the strangest legends, hidden histories, and real disappearances were all connected? Welcome deep inside the Crazy Fact Vault, where we unlock the most disturbing truths and fascinating mysteries hidden from the world. Today, we have compiled 4 of our most popular investigations into one massive journey through the unknown and the unexplained. Prepare yourself for a 20-minute deep dive into cursed commercials, corporate lies, lost aviators, and the frozen mysteries of the North. Let us begin with a cursed commercial from Japan that supposedly brought death and madness to everyone involved in its production. In the 80s, Kleenex released an advertisement featuring a woman in white and a bizarre little creature dressed as an ogre. Viewers immediately felt uneasy, claiming the music sounded like a German curse, and the visuals carried a dark, negative energy. The background song was actually a harmless tune called "It's a Fine Day," but legends say the tone changes at midnight. Rumors spread like wildfire that the lead actress went insane and the cameraman died in a freak accident shortly after filming. While the actress remains alive and well today, the legend of the cursed Kleenex commercial persists in Japanese urban folklore. From Japan, we travel to the rivers of Mexico to encounter La Llorona, the weeping woman who searches for her children. Legend says she drowned her own children in a fit of rage and now wanders the waterfronts, crying out in eternal regret. Those who hear her weeping are said to be marked for death, or at the very least, terrible misfortune will follow. This story serves as a cautionary tale to children, warning them not to stay out late near the dangerous riverbanks. Moving from folklore to a terrifying modern phenomenon, we explore the shadow people that millions claim to see during sleep paralysis. Sleep paralysis occurs when your mind wakes up, but your body remains asleep, creating a state of helpless terror and hallucinations. Many victims report seeing the Hat Man, a distinct shadow entity that observes them without emotion, feeding on their intense fear. Science explains this as a hypnagogic hallucination, where the dream world bleeds into reality, projecting our deepest fears onto the room. Whether supernatural entities or tricks of the mind, these shadow figures remain one of the most common shared nightmares in history. Let us leave the horror behind and enter the warm kitchen of America's most trusted housewife, the famous Betty Crocker. For a century, her name has been synonymous with cooking, baking, and the comfort of a home-cooked meal for families. In the 1920s, thousands of women wrote letters to her, seeking advice on everything from fluffy cakes to marriage problems. But here's the shocking truth. Betty Crocker never existed. She was entirely invented by the Washburn Crosby Company for marketing. The name came from a retired director, William Crocker, and the first name Betty was chosen because it sounded warm and friendly. Radio shows featured actresses playing the role, giving Betty a voice that millions of Americans grew to trust and love implicitly. Her face has changed 7 times over the decades, evolving to reflect the changing style and demographic of the American woman. The company realized that people trust a person more than a faceless corporation, so they manufactured the perfect culinary expert. This marketing strategy was so successful that Betty Crocker was once voted the 2nd most famous woman in America after Eleanor Roosevelt. She stands as a testament to the power of branding, proving that a fictional character can influence real history and culture. Today, the Red Spoon logo remains a global icon, even though the woman behind the name was nothing more than ink. From the domestic mystery of the kitchen, we now take flight to explore the greatest aviation mystery of the 20th century. Amelia Earhart was a pioneer, a celebrity, and a symbol of courage who attempted to circumnavigate the globe in 1937. She and her navigator Fred Noonan vanished over the Pacific Ocean, leaving behind only radio static and a world of questions. Their target was Howland Island, a tiny strip of land that was incredibly difficult to locate with the navigation technology of that time. The Coast Guard cutter Itasca received desperate fragmented messages indicating she was running low on fuel and could not see land. The official report concluded that she ran out of fuel and crashed into the ocean, sinking to the bottom immediately. However, modern investigations point to Gardner Island, now Nikumaroro, as the place where Earhart may have survived as a castaway. Expeditions have found pieces of aluminum matching her plane, a shoe sole, and even a cosmetic jar from the 30s. The most gruesome theory suggests that giant coconut crabs, which have powerful claws, may have consumed the remains of the aviators. In 1940, bones were found on the island, but were dismissed as male, only to be reanalyzed later as female. Modern forensic anthropology suggests a 99% probability that the bones belong to a woman of Earhart's height and ancestry. While we may never know for sure, the evidence strongly suggests she lived her final days as a castaway on a desert island. Leaving the tropical Pacific, we head north to the final and most mysterious location of our journey, the Alaska Triangle. This vast area stretches between Anchorage, Juneau, and Barrow, and it has the highest rate of missing persons in the world. More than 16,000 people have vanished here since 1988, a rate twice the national average for missing persons. In 1972, a plane carrying U.S. House Majority Leader Hale Boggs vanished, sparking the largest search in American history. Despite 40 days of searching with modern technology, not a single piece of debris or a scrap of metal was ever found. Some theories suggest massive magnetic anomalies in the area cause compasses to fail and pilots to become dangerously disoriented. Conspiracy theorists often point to the HAARP facility, a government research program that studies the ionosphere using high-frequency radio transmitters. Accusations range from weather control and mind manipulation to creating artificial auroras. Though scientists insist it is purely for research, local indigenous legends speak of the Kushtaka, shape-shifting otter people who lure travelers to their deaths with the cries of a baby. Others believe the triangle is a hotbed for extraterrestrial activity, with frequent sightings of unidentified flying objects and strange lights. The harsh terrain, freezing temperatures, and deep crevasses certainly contribute to the danger, making bodies nearly impossible to recover. From cursed objects and fake identities to lost pilots and vanishing planes, the world is full of puzzles waiting to be solved. Let us revisit the Kleenex curse for a moment. Did you know the baby in the ad was actually just a painted child? The child grew up to be a normal adult, completely unaware that he was the center of a terrifying urban legend. This phenomenon is a classic example of mass hysteria, where a shared belief creates real physical symptoms and fear in a population. La Llorona has transcended Mexican folklore to become a global horror icon, featured in blockbuster movies and terrifying haunted houses. Interestingly, almost every culture has a version of the Weeping Woman, suggesting a universal human fear of grief and loss. Betty Crocker's cookbooks became the Bible of the American kitchen, teaching generations how to cook during times of war and peace. During World War II, the brand provided crucial advice on how to make delicious meals with limited rations and scarce ingredients. The brand led the charge in processed foods, convincing consumers that using a box was just as good as baking from scratch. Psychologists found that housewives felt guilty using instant mix, so they required adding a fresh egg to make it feel like cooking. Returning to Amelia, her disappearance overshadowed her incredible achievements, including being the first woman to fly solo across the Atlantic. She was a global superstar, a fashion icon, and a feminist symbol who pushed the boundaries of what women could do. Another persistent theory claims she was captured by the Japanese military and died in custody. Though no hard evidence exists, a blurry photograph found in the National Archives allegedly shows her on a dock in the Marshall Islands, fueling the capture theory. However, historians later proved the photo was published in a Japanese travel book years before her flight actually took place. In the Alaska Triangle, the terrain itself is a killer, with dense forests that can hide a crashed plane for decades. Glaciers are constantly moving rivers of ice that can swallow wreckage whole and grind it to dust within a few years. Tragically, many rescue missions in the Triangle have ended in disaster, with search planes crashing while looking for other missing aircraft. Esoteric researchers claim the area is home to a vile vortex, a center of electromagnetic energy similar to the Bermuda Triangle. Back to the cursed commercial, visual analysts suggest the jarring contrast of red and white created a subconscious feeling of danger. The ogre baby was meant to represent a cute character from folklore, but the execution was accidentally terrifying to the audience. Sociologists believe the La Llorona legend evolved as a practical tool to keep children away from dangerous waters in the dark. Some researchers draw parallels between shadow people sightings and alien abduction stories, suggesting they might be the same psychological experience. Not everything Betty touched turned to gold. The company had its share of failed products that have been erased from history. A controversial theory suggests Amelia was asked by President Roosevelt to spy on Japanese military installations in the Pacific Islands. Alongside aliens and ghosts, the Alaska Triangle is also a hotspot for Bigfoot sightings, adding another layer to the mystery. The sheer size of Alaska is hard to comprehend. You could fit Texas, California, and Montana inside it with room to spare. With such a low population density, if you get lost or injured in the wild, the chances of being found are slim. Audio engineers have analyzed the Cursed Kleenex song and found no hidden frequencies, just a simple, melancholic vocal track. The Kleenex ad is not alone. History is full of commercials that accidentally terrified viewers instead of selling the product. The commercialization of La Llorona has turned a tragic folktale into a popcorn horror franchise, stripping away its cultural depth. In medieval times, sleep paralysis was blamed on incubus and succubus demons, proving this experience has haunted humanity for centuries. As women entered the workforce, Betty Crocker adapted, offering quicker meals for the busy mother who had less time to cook. Deep-sea exploration companies continue to spend millions scanning the ocean floor, hoping to find the preserved wreckage of her plane. Sonar anomalies have raised hopes many times, only to turn out to be rock formations or debris from other shipwrecks. Indigenous tribes have lived in harmony with this land for thousands of years, respecting the spirits and dangers we call mysteries. Perhaps the disappearances are simply nature's way of reminding us that we are not the masters of this wild environment. In all these stories, the line between fact and fiction blurs, creating a narrative that is more powerful than the truth. For marketers, the Kleenex incident is a lesson in cultural sensitivity and the unpredictable nature of public perception. At its core, the story of La Llorona is about the unbearable pain of a mother, a tragedy that resonates universally. Doctors suggest that focusing on moving a small muscle, like a finger or toe, can help break the paralysis spell. Betty Crocker proves that a brand can have a soul, even if that soul was manufactured in a corporate boardroom. Amelia remains a beacon of inspiration, teaching us that the pursuit of a dream is worth the risk of failure. Climate change is altering the Alaskan landscape rapidly, potentially revealing old secrets or hiding them forever under rising waters. As we near the end of our journey, the vault door begins to close, but the questions remain wide open.
Did you hear about her?
Urban legends like the Cursed commercial and La Llorona show us how easily fear can spread through word of mouth. The story of Betty Crocker demonstrates that we are often willing to believe in a comforting lie rather than a cold truth. Amelia Earhart represents the ultimate cost of exploration, a reminder that pushing boundaries sometimes means never coming back home. The Alaska Triangle stands as a monument to the untamed wild, a place where modern technology still bows to nature. Ironically, despite the curse rumors, Kleenex sales eventually recovered, proving that even a cursed brand can survive with time. From Mexico to Chile, variations of the Weeping Woman exist, each adapted to fit the local fears and landscapes. Artists throughout history have tried to capture the terror of sleep paralysis, leaving us with haunting images of bedside demons. Betty has moved from radio to television and now to smartphone apps, continuing to guide cooks in the digital era. Flight simulators have recreated her final journey, confirming that her fuel calculations were critically low for the distance required. Despite the disappearances, thrill seekers flock to Alaska every year, drawn by the very danger that claims so many lives. Skeptics argue that humans are pattern-seeking machines, finding connections and curses where there is only random chance and coincidence. Believers counter that negative energy can attach to objects and places, creating a cycle of misfortune that science cannot measure. Betty Crocker
These
was the
icons are more
pioneer
than
of the
just
brand
mascots.
mascot,
They are a
paving the
vital
way
part of
for
our
Ronald
shared
McDonald
cultural history.
and the Michelin Man. We often forget the intense isolation she faced, flying alone for hours over an ocean that looked the same everywhere. In the lower 48 states, you are never far from a road. In Alaska, you can be days from help. Fear is the common thread binding these four stories together. Whether it is fear of ghosts, failure, or the unknown, we are drawn to these mysteries because they challenge our understanding of the world and remind us how little we know. Do you believe in curses? Do you trust the brands you buy? Would you fly over the Alaska Triangle? The internet has given new life to the Kleenex legend, introducing a new generation to the terror of the 80s. As American diets change towards health and wellness, the brand continues to evolve, proving that adaptability is key to survival. Today, every female pilot who takes to the skies owes a debt of gratitude to the path Amelia Earhart blazed. Constant earthquakes and shifting tectonic plates mean the geography of the Alaska Triangle is always changing, hiding its secrets deeper. Of course, for every scientific theory, there are a dozen wild conspiracies involving time travel, portals, and government cover-ups. The media plays a huge role in building these legends, often prioritizing a sensational headline over the boring, simple truth. We must not forget that behind the entertainment of these mysteries lie real families who never got answers or closure. The Kleenex commercial remains a fascinating case study of how a simple mistake can spiral into a nationwide horror legend. La Llorona will continue to haunt the riverbanks of our collective imagination, a timeless specter of guilt and sorrow. As long as humans dream, the shadow people will be there, waiting in the corners of our subconscious minds. Betty Crocker may be fake, but the memories created around the dinner table using her recipes are very real. The ocean is a vast graveyard, and Amelia Earhart is its most famous resident, sleeping eternally beneath the waves. The Alaska Triangle remains one of the last true frontiers on Earth, a place where civilization has yet to conquer nature. Our curiosity is what defines us. We are driven to shine a light into the darkest corners of existence. There are countless more mysteries waiting to be uncovered, from the depths of the ocean to the edges of space. Always question what you see, look for the evidence, and never accept a simple answer for a complex problem. Take a moment to reflect on the stories we have shared today and the strange world we all inhabit. Will you ever look at a box of tissues the same way again, knowing the dark legend attached to it? Will you trust the smiling face on the box? Or will you remember the corporate men who invented her? When you look at the sky, will you think of the brave woman who vanished into the clouds forever? And if you ever visit Alaska, will you stay on the path? Or will you risk vanishing into the triangle? The world is stranger than fiction, and the truth is often far more disturbing than any story we could invent. If you enjoyed this marathon of mysteries, please hit the like button and share this video with your fellow truth seekers. Let us know in the comments which story terrified you the most, or if you have a theory of your own. If you are hungry for more, click on one of the videos appearing on your screen right now for more. Do not forget to subscribe and ring the bell so you never miss an update from the Crazy Fact Vault. This video was the result of weeks of research and production, dedicated to bringing you the highest quality mystery content. We strive to peel back the layers of our reality, one crazy fact at a time, just for you. Darkness is closing in once again, but do not worry. We will be back soon to light another candle. The vault is locking down for the night, securing these dangerous truths away until we meet again for the next episode. Sleep well, keep your eyes open, and remember that not everything in the shadows is just your imagination playing tricks. This has been a special presentation of the Crazy Fact Vault. Thank you for being part of our community. We appreciate your time and your curiosity. Stay safe out there in the unknown world. Until next time, goodbye. Stay curious, stay skeptical, and keep searching for the truth. This is the Crazy Fact Vault, signing off. Thank you for watching Crazy Fact Vault. Subscribe now for more deep dives into the mysterious world around us. Goodbye.